The markets, and we are wondering what will happen with the US dollar. Especially yesterday, we had an ADP. That said what is the difference between the new employers, new unemployers, and that is why I want to talk about this with Davide Biocchi, trader from Directa. Hello, Davide. How are you?
Hello. Well, I'm doing good. And here in Italy, the lockdown is really going on. But at the end, we now have more habits. So we are now more, let me say, uh, we can understand why we are here. And so it's for our safe. So it's good. Okay.
Okay, Davide. And how do you see yesterday's ADP?
Well, in my opinion, this was the second real number that we had after the coronavirus situation. The first was the initial claims that we have seen the past Thursday. And today we will have again the initial claims that are supposed to be even more than 1 week ago. So it's not so positive. But yesterday the ADP was not as bad as it was forecasted. So the situation is that after this week, especially because we will have tomorrow the payrolls and the unemployment rate, we will have a more clear idea of how, for the moment, the coronavirus impacted the, let me say, American society, especially for those concerning, let me say, the workers, okay? That is very important for the perspective to try to understand what will happen if we are going to go, and this is sure, in a fast recession, but how big and how what the kind of impact they will have. Obviously, on the other side, we have also some data connected to sentiment. Especially, we have seen yesterday the ISM, that is the Index of Supply Manager, for those concerning manufacturing, and tomorrow we will have the one connected to services. And also in Europe, we will have PMI. We had yesterday the PMI manufacturing, and we will have tomorrow the PMI services that are more impacted than manufacturing, because a lot of companies completely shut down, were completely locked down. Okay, so it's really more terrible, the situation about the services. So in general, I expect after this the end of this week to have more clear numbers, real numbers, and more, let me say, numbers connected to sentiment. Okay, so it will be easier for all this algorithm that let me say that let me say help all the investors to work in the market to try to have a more clear and a better idea. We still have, let me say, a problem because we don't know when it will end, and this is the real problem of the market. But for sure, we can see some numbers, and from these numbers, we can understand if we are trying to consolidate at the proper level, if we are too high or we are too low.
Yes, when we are talking about the US dollar, we can also look at the crude oil. And what is your opinion about this asset, crude oil? Is there a possibility that crude oil is going more cheaper, or maybe we are somewhere in the bottoms, especially looking at the day one chart?
So, in my opinion, what is happening? Well, first of all, we must really understand that the crude oil is a commodity. This is not a stock. So, it can't go to failure. It can't go to zero. So, it's different. Imagine that I think that also the Saudi Arabian, they can maybe produce. They have some production cost around $10–11 per barrel. So we can even see the price slipping even lower. But the more it goes down, the more we are very close to the bottom. Okay. I have seen in the chart, and I have seen during the last days that the present situation tells us about a consolidation around $20 per barrel. There was, let me say, a dip under 20, but recovered very soon. So, in my opinion, now only the demand is working on the side of crude oil, and if we will see the prices going up, this is only for a question. This is only connected to the demand. Okay. Later, we have some choice also to see some reactions by the OPEC. Okay, so by the producers. Okay. And if they will change the offer in terms of daily barrels, we will see probably the price increasing. So, in a certain way, it's quite good to understand that not so far from here we will have the bottom of the crude oil, because it was down two-thirds, 60 and more percent since the beginning of the year. So it goes even lower and lower than stocks, for example, than stocks indices. And so we must have a look at it, and we must try to understand which is the proper financial instrument, maybe in the future, to try to profit about an eventual increase of the demand.
Okay, okay, and we are when we are looking at the stocks, especially the indices, the S&P 500 and also Dow Jones 30, you see still some panic action, or maybe investors are like saying, okay, we had some correction, but maybe now is the time to buy some stocks.
Well, we have a clear perspective if we look at this. So what we can see here is that there is a clear attempt to consolidate the price around this level. Okay, we have a clear price here that is for a very short period support around this level, and we have a clear resistance around here. So for sure we have a more important support here around 2,200. But at the end, we can see that right now the price is remaining around here. So we will see future lower prices in case of breakout of this area. Maybe an increase, but I'm not thinking we will see such a strong increase, apart from some very strange data that we will receive, very far from expectations. But due to the expectation, the market is more or less. The more the market will remain around these prices, the best is for the future.
Okay, and I only want to look at the gold as an asset, because especially when we are saying about the risk off scenario, then we see yen going up, also the gold, and we saw that the gold's going up, then it's going down, and now is the question, what is happening on gold, and is it still in uptrend? Is there a possibility that gold will be stronger, or maybe you are seeing still the scenario that people are going straight to cash?
Well, for sure, the more, let me say, the things that the traders and that the investors are now looking at is cash. Cash is king, so it's for sure. But look at this. We have a clear uptrend here since more or less 1 year ago. Okay, so this is a clear uptrend. But what happened here during the last period? What happened was that for sure, for example, some investors. Let me try to do an example. Imagine an hedge fund. Imagine an hedge fund that went to margin call on stocks. Before selling the stocks, maybe they can sell some position here and get the money to cover their position on stocks. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So this is something that probably happened. We have a very, very strong resistance here between 1,680, 1,700. Okay, and we have a very strong support here around 1,450, something like that. Okay, so more or less we are in a moment in which the volatility increase even on the gold, not only on the stocks, and we have now a trading range that can be combined more or less within these two levels. I don't know. I'm still thinking that the gold can increase, but we need to see a clear, strong breakout of 1,700. This will be, let me say, the trigger. Okay, the trigger condition.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Davide, for your analysis. Thank you for this conversation. My guest and yours was Davide Biocchi, trader from Directa.
Thank you so much. See you soon from Italy. Ciao, ciao.